uh, for a fact that you have tried your best to reach out to the officers of the party in your desire that these burning issues allegedly dividing the party, can be settled without going into the media. May I ask, Mr. Chair, please inform us of the actions that you yourself has done in the past in order to have this party dispute be resolved without going out the media. So may I humbly request, Mr. Chair, please say something for the enlightenment of the other party members.
Well, thank you very much. Since you asked me that, we've been trying to reach out to all the members since the start. And when we joined PDP, when the president decided to run for president in 2016, we tried to organize PDP. Things that we have done is to develop relationship among other parties in our neighbors to learn from their best practices. And I'm sure, Mr. Moderator, you are a witness, so were a witness on the effort that we have done. I'd like to say that on November 13, 2017, I wrote Senator Pimentel, who was then the party president, and Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez, who was then the Secretary General, about my advocacy to promote and strengthen party-based politics in our country. Our party is now stronger than ever. We have a unique opportunity to achieve party-centered politics, wherein party principles, rather than personal interest, become the driving force for any political party in this country. This is a legacy we can leave for future leaders, not only for our party, but more importantly, to our country, for our country. Principles, rather than personalities, should be the measuring stick whereby future leaders should be selected. We will come and go, we will wither away, but our party will remain stronger than ever before. Party mates, to institutionalize everything and to make our party stronger, I propose that we create a council of elders, a PDP council of elders, to be composed of party mates who have proven themselves worthy of emulation by devoting their time and energy for the betterment not only of our party, but also of our country. As such, I would like to propose the formation of the Council of Elders. And I would like to begin it, by nominating President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to be the chairman of the Council of Elders. And as an initial members, I would like to propose the inclusion of Secretary Carlos Dominguez, Secretary Wendell Abisado, Attorney Vic Garcia, and the inclusion of the party president as member of the Council of Elders, who will be the guiding light, who will be the beacon that will guide the party in its endeavor, in its journey towards development of a party that would really represent and lead the country to progress. So may I hear the sentiment of the other members in the formation of the Council of Elders.
Mr. Chair,
Moderator.
for everybody's information and for them to fully appreciate the proposal coming from the chair of this council meeting, may I move that a resolution be adopted for the creation of the Council of Elders as proposed by no less than by our Vice Chairman, who is now the presiding officer in today's National Council meeting. I so move for a resolution be adopted for the creation of the Council of Elders.
I just been reminded that yes, before I address that motion, I'd like to add the inclusion of Senator Coco Pimentel in the Council of Elders, being the representative of the founding father of PDP. So aside from President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Secretary Carlos Dominguez, Secretary Wendell Avisado, Attorney Vic Garcia, and the President of the party, the inclusion of Senator Coco Pimentel. Mr. Moderator.
So I have a pending motion, Mr. Chair, for the creation of the Council of Elders via a resolution to be passed by this National Council. I move that the resolution be adopted creating the Council of Elders as proposed by no less than our Vice Chairman.
Move seconded. Is there any objection? The formation of the
Mr. Chairman,
would be the guiding light of the PDP-Laban.
Corollary to that, Mr. Chair, as suggested by
Mr. Chairman,
our presiding officer, that the following should initially compose.
may I say something?
There is the sub-participant would like to say something.
Do we have anyone from the Zoom participants who wants to say something?
Secretary,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
OPA, Office of President's Advisor for Overseas Filipino Workers. Please come in.
Secretary Mamao, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman,
Please lower.
I would like to support the recommendation of our acting chairman
Natin marinig, Secretary Sec
of
Mamao.
this conference.
Pakibaba yung microphone, wag ilagay pakibaba
Oh.
dito sa yan. Okay. Lapit mo sa mouth. Okay, please proceed.
For the creation of a council of elders for the party. This is a national political party,
Pwede ba ganun yun?
and I propose that we will have an inclusive participation of all the members. And for this consideration, Mr. Chairman, I propose that in the selection of Council of Elders, there should be one representative from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. Thank you very much.
Mamao.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
Any second motion? Seconded, any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved and the council elder is hereby is that form. Thank you. The moderator.
Mr. Chair, before we proceed to the significant dates for compliance with COMELEC resolution, of which we are about to end this National Council meeting, there are other members who are present today who would like to say a few words in a few minutes. May I call on Mr. Macapagal of Zambales? He has been with us originally since 2016. So please say something on behalf
Mr.
of
Macapagal is,
Zambales and Governor Daniels, a member of PDP-Laban.
Mr. Macapagal is hereby acknowledged.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This being Central Luzon, hindi ho magpapatalo ang Zambales, of course, sa Bulacan. So, on behalf of myself and Governor Junep Dane, we would like to mention that we are one with you. We support you. In fact, mahirap man sabihin pero Mr. or Secretary Al, we love you. Okay? And that goes the same with you, Attorney Melvin, and Yusek Astra. And to everyone who's here, we support our President and we will follow his lead. Tomorrow he will be here and whatever he wants, we will do. So, ang Zambales po ay kaisa ninyo. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Macapagal. Yes, Mr. Moderator.
May I have the honor to request our members who are in the Zoom meeting, if you want to say something, please just let us know. You can text us in the chat room, or you can raise your hand on the screen, and when we see you, we will immediately recognize you, and we would be happy to hear your piece in this National Council meeting. As we are about to wrap up and end this council meeting, we have only one more important item of the agenda before we adjourn, Mr. Chair. So, may I ask the members who are in the Zoom meeting, if anyone would like to say something?
Anyone? Second?
Mr. Chair, I forgot to mention Congressman Ruel Gonzaga is also present in Zoom. That's an additional. And also, I'd like to recognize the following. Kapas PDP Convenor Judith Samogo, Provincial Youth Affairs Chair Joshua Lucky, Bomban Vice President PDP-Laban Ray Bitug. And of course, since we mentioned that the group of Attorney Big is still a standing member of PDP, I'd like to recognize yung mga nandirito po, si Kaabin Dalhani, si Mr. Raymar Masulungan, Mr. Manny Lumao, Mr. Dalhani, Alvin Feliciano is here also. Of course, si Commissioner Franklin Quijano. But also, I'd like to recognize delegation from PDP Laguna, led by former Vice Mayor Irene Diarnesa is here, and Councilor Lola Nambayek, and down to the chapter of the barangay, we have barangay captains or member of PDP or here. And of course, my wife, who is a board member of Laguna, is also present. So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mrs. Matibag is here watching the husband, making sure that he is following the order. Mr. Moderator, please.
Mr. Chair, we only have one item left in the agenda, but I decided to remove my mask only for this time, Mr. Chair, because everyone is texting me, hey, we want to see your face. So, for the information of all members of this National Council meeting, may I give this information on the significant dates for compliance with COMELEC resolutions. August 15, 2021, and that is Sunday. That would be the last day of currently registered political parties or coalition of political parties to submit of nomination and acceptance, including Saturday and Sunday, Mr. Chair. So I move, Mr. Chair, if there are no other members who are present here today who would like to manifest anything, I see Director General Ching Plaza, our Vice President for Mindanao, to be recognized, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Madam Ching is hereby recognized. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just noticed that we don't have an international affairs or perhaps an OFW chapters because, Mr. Chair, this sector is very important considering that they for the first time in the presidential election where our OFWs really are united to support behind our President Duterte. So right now we have a lot of chapters organized all over the world. So I move, Mr. Chair, that we consider the creation of that Committee on International Affairs and OFWs chapters, however we will call that particular committee, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much,
Madam Ching.
Director Ching Plaza. Before we put that into formal motion, Mr. Chair.
Excuse me, Mr. Moderator, but before you proceed, may I call on Attorney Yvette is raising her hand.
Yeah, Attorney Yvette, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the information of the body, one of the amendments proposed by the Legal and Arbitration Committee was the amendment of Article, I think, 20, as regards the National Committee Chairperson. And for the information of the body, we included, apart from the 7 committees, we added a committee for the multi-sectoral how do you call this, representation, as well as indigenous people representation. So nakalagay na po yun dun sa
Process
proposed
on the
amendment
amendment.
namin. Yes,
Yes.
sir po.
That's okay. We take
Thank
note
you,
of that.
Attorney
Mr.
Yvette, for
Moderator.
your manifestation. May I recognize our Chair of the Education Committee to make some manifestations, Mr. Chair?
Madam Chair, Chairperson Asra.
Mr. Chairman, in addition to the report that I have submitted earlier about the 110,000 members, included in the 110,000 members are members of overseas Filipino chapters that we have. And in fact, yesterday, the president of the Qatar chapter has submitted by email their proposal for the amendment of the Constitution relative to the creation of the OFW sector. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Your manifestation is duly noted.
Thank you. May I also ask Sultan Ali Mindalano, our Director of Credit Information Corporation, to say something on behalf of our Muslim brothers and sisters or also members of PDP-Laban.
Yes, please. You're recognized. You have the floor.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Lambino, Chairman, rather Presiding Officer Secretary Alfonso Cusi. Bago ko po ibahagi sa inyo ang aking sasabihin, gusto ko lang munang magpakilala sa inyo. Siguro sa loob ng bulwakan na ito, ako ang pinakamatanda sa inyong lahat. Not in terms of age. Pero sa pagiging membro ng PDP-Laban. I joined PDP-Laban in the last month of 1983. December of 1983. Kasabay po niyang tumakbo si Senator Coco Pimentel, kaya lang si Coco nasa party list ng PDP-Laban at hindi pinalad na makapasok ang PDP-Laban at the time. So that was the first time na si Senator Coco Pimentel got involved actively with PDP-Laban. Kasi all those years, up to 1998, up to the time when Vice President Jojo Binay left the party, it was the Vice President who really sustained the survival, political survival of PDP-Laban. For so many years, we have this Friday luncheon meeting. Every Friday, wala pong palpak yan. Maliban lang kung may bagyo at saka may mga holidays. At si Jojo Binay po ang nag-host niyan hanggat sa siya po'y lumisan. Ang PDP po ay nakipag-merge sa lakas ng bayan laban. Kaya naging PDP-Laban. Nung matapos po ang eleksyon, katulad po na nangyayari sa atin ngayon, marami pong membro ng PDP-Laban na hindi nagkakasundo. So yung mga hindi nila gusto ang pagpapatakbo ng PDP-Laban, umalis po sila at itinatag po nila ang lakas ng Demokratikong Pilipino, LDP, na pinamumunuan ng ni Speaker Mitra at ni Congressman Piping Kuhuangco at mga kasamahan nila. Kaya ko po ito kinukwento sa inyong lahat. Dahil may mga naririnig ako na may mga kasapi tayo sa partido na gumagawa ng party grab. Hindi naman po dahil nakikita ko naman. Karami naman dito dumadaan sa proseso ng ating partido. At saka, ano ba ito? Sinasabi rin nila na there is an act of betrayal dahil tayo po ay kumukuha ng kandidato natin sa pagkapangulo na hindi naman membro ng PDP-Laban. Pero sa tingin ko po, unang-una hindi totoo yun dahil hindi pa naman tayo pumipili ng mga kandidato natin. So walang katotohanan yun. Pangalawa po, noong 1998, ang LDP at saka PMP nagkaroon ng koalisyon at ang kandidato nila ng
Kali, excuse me. You have 2 minutes to wrap up.
Okay. So, ngayon, nung oras na yon, ang pinili ng PDP-Laban ng presidente, si President Era po, dahil ang koalisyon ng PMP at saka LDP, nakipag-alliance sa PDP-Laban po. So, meron po tayong nakuha kandidato na hindi po miyembro ng PDP-Laban sa pagkatao po ni President Era Estrada. Ito po yung naikukwento ko dahil lahat po ako kasali dito sa mga usapin ito. So, itong mga narinig natin po ay wala pong katuturan at wala pong katotohanan. So, maraming salamat. Kahit hindi pa ako tapos, tinatapos ko na aking mga pagsasalita. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaali, for the reminders and the past of history of PDP-Laban. Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Chair, well, thank you for those political historical facts that you have narrated. We are really educated. I remember very vividly that in 1992 elections, Mr. Chair, the group of Liberal Party Salogdo Wing and the group of PDP-Laban have joined forces, and the candidate for president then was Senator Jovito Salonga. Vice President was Senator Aquilino Pimentel. So, and then again in 1998, as mentioned, the candidate supported by PDP-Laban was then Vice President Era Estrada, who was not a member of PDP-Laban. So, there were precedents to show that indeed PDP-Laban in the past has supported or had supported candidates for president who are not members of PDP-Laban. Well, anyway, that will be another matter later on, Mr. Chair. But for now, the motion of Director General Ching Plaza, we have to dispose that off. First, she proposed, Mr. Chair, the creation of a committee for overseas Filipino workers and for international affairs. I think we are going to separate those two issues, Mr. Chair, because it might be misinterpreted that when you talk of international affairs, it's going to interfere in the functions of the International Departmental Party, which is to interact with the different political parties all over the world. So maybe we are going to, and then we are going to separate the overseas Filipino workers. Maybe we can create something like Vice President for Global Affairs that would include not just overseas Filipino workers, but even businessmen, Filipinos who are already living and making good in different parts of the country. But as Attorney Yvette Contacto has manifested, these are matters that would need constitutional amendments. That will be a matter later on to be discussed in our next National Council meeting, Mr. Chair. But for now, since there are no matters to be disposed of, I move for the adjournment of the National Council meeting.
There's a motion to adjourn the meeting. Yeah. And before we act on that, again, I'd like to repeat our thanks to Mayor Art and Kong Rida Robes for this beautiful arrangement, the venue, and to all the organizers, the people behind all of these things. Of course, Richard Nethercott, who has been my support behind the scene, and to all of you, Melvin Matibag, and of course, the Bulacan chapter, Yusek Marcos, and sa lahat po, sa lahat, and of course, the governors that are present, who came all the way from Calibo and Quirino, nandito sila, no? At saka iba pa. Maraming salamat for attending this historic event. No, this is our second council meeting for the year, and tomorrow we will have our assembly. We will present the council resolution. The president, our chairman, will be addressing. And I think what we have done today and the formation of the Council of Elders is something that would really be something that would institutionalize everything that the party is doing for all. So there is a motion for adjournment. Seconded. Any objection? Oh, you, Mr. Riduin, objecting to the adjournment. You want to continue the meeting? Biro lang. Yeah. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned and see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Announcement lang po. Everyone who wants to participate tomorrow, please get your health declaration form kasi kailangan po ng PSG yan tomorrow. And also, may mga nagtatanong lang, sir, dun sa nomination, what we were electing tomorrow our national officers. Wala pa po yung regional sa mga city, no? Just for clarification. Thank you.